Because you look so sweet. Woo. I wish I could taste the moment. Girl, you look so damn sweet. No, no. I wish I could taste the moment. Been around the world, hey. But there's nothing like that southern ass, girl. No. I've been around the world, oh. Nothing like that southern ass, girl. Yeah. Okay, now pour me a one. Better yet, make it two. They say the night is young, but this cup like the fountain in you. Shining. Tell me what your sign is. Tell me what you drink, little lady. I could buy by the bottle, I promise. Because you look so sweet. Woo. I wish I could taste the moment. Girl, you look so damn sweet. No, no. I wish I could taste the moment. Been around the world, hey. But there's nothing like that southern ass, girl. No. I've been around the world, whoa. Nothing like that southern ass, girl.
Hey, people, it's your boy Chubb Rock. There's a new sheriff in town, Southern Edge Beverage Company. And let me tell you, you better taste the edge. Watch this. Taste the edge. Sweet tea vodka, salted caramel whiskey will rock you. The taste is smooth and refreshing. Gluten-free, no harsh burn for the blessing. Make it neat. Have it on ice. Buy both bottles. Have it twice. Mix with your favorite fruit juice. Nice. Mix a liqueur combo. Hype. We're black owned. Yeah. Finest in Atlanta telephone. College Park. Check this bone. Sweet tea, vodka, fix your fam. Southern Edge Beverages, Instagram. Salted caramel whiskey on the edge. New sheriff in town, baby. Taste the edge. Southern Edge can be found in the following locations in the metro Atlanta area. Total Wine and More in Alpharetta. Camp Creek World of Beverages. Prohibition Liquor. Firewater Package. Crest Wine and Spirits. And Bim's Package Store. It's time to taste the edge. Southern Edge, baby.
Is it too early to tell y'all what I was thinking about yesterday then on this note?
Go ahead. Here we go. Get ready to dump you.
I really thought about this for about an hour yesterday.
Okay. All right, let's hear it. 2028.
Man, I'm thinking about running for president of the United States. If I start right now today.
Notty.
If I start my...
You got my support, man.
Because guess what I'm going to do? I was thinking about a reparations plan. I was thinking about a re-education plan, getting teachers raises. Like I really was formulating my whole campaign. And I said, if I start today, in 4 years, will I be ready to be president of the United States of America?
Like I just said, Donald Trump with no experience was president of the United States of America. He's got a good chance of winning again. Hell no. Why not?
Right.
I believe in you. I trust you. I believe in you way more than I do Trump. So why would I vote for you, Notty?
Have you ever been stranded on the side of the road, Arle?
Yes.
It's not comfortable, is it?
No.
Dogs and poodles, if you find yourself in a jam on the side of the highway, give my folks at Bay 11 Towing a call, 404-770-6949. Again, that's 404-770-6949. Being stranded on the side of the road in Metro Atlanta is very stressful and dangerous. Bay 11 Towing is who you need to call, whether you're dealing with a flat tire, dead battery, full-on breakdown, or whatever that may have you on the side of the road. Call our folks at Bay 11 Towing, and they will get to you with a competitive rate and quicker than everybody else in town. Again, that's Bay 11 Towing. That number is 404-770-6949.
Let's be clear. A clean, healthy environment is what you and your family deserve. The truth is, our indoor air can be up to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air, which can dramatically affect respiratory health, especially among children and the elderly. The solution is clear. Clear filters trap and remove dangerous particles from the air, keeping substances like bacteria, viruses, mold, dust, and pollen from accumulating in your home and other indoor spaces. Clear filters offer a diverse selection of filters that meet the highest industry standards. Clear filters catch even the tiniest contaminants, creating a healthier and safer breathing experience in your home and other indoor environments without compromising the integrity of your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems. Visit ProjectClear.org and take advantage of all the benefits a cleaner, healthier, pollution-free environment has to offer. And together, let's clear the air.
Imagine feeling invigorated and focused, not by artificial substances, but by natural pre-workout supplements. This isn't just a thought, but a reality many athletes and fitness enthusiasts are embracing. They hold the key to elevated performance without the commonly associated side effects of synthetic products. However, overlooking the potential of these supplements means missing out on that all-natural energy boost and focus. It means accepting unnecessary crashes post-workout. It's a pain point that no fitness enthusiast should grapple with, especially when there's a healthier alternative. At Lion Roar Herbs, we produce a vegan all-natural pre-workout that is proven to increase performance and boost every workout. Visit us at lionroarherbs.com to learn more and look for natural performance energy. That's NPE. We are sure you will feel the difference.
When you know what to do with what you got, you can do more with it. All right. So shouts out to my man Lavrell, as well as the World Changers, making this thing happen and getting it done with your financial needs. All right. The World Changers help empower individuals and communities throughout financial education and implementation. Your agent, Lavrell Hawkins, has made significant strides in the financial services industry, using his expertise to guide and support others in achieving financial stability as well as success. Lavrell uses an holistic approach that addresses the mental, physical, financial, and spiritual aspects of being in a well space and place when it comes to your finances, all right? Y'all give them a call, 919-764-4626. That's 919-764-4626. The World Changers Financials and Lavrell are dedicated to empowering you and your communities through financial education and implementation. 919-764-4626.
What's up, know-it-alls? It is your girl, Arle Michelle of Arlewood, and your boy, Naughty Notty, for this Wednesday edition of The No Show. We show, so you know, not show. I don't know. I got to come up with something better than that. What's up, Notty?
What's going on? How you doing?
I am in a very, very good place. I'm excited.
Oh, wow. What has you in a good place? What's going on?
I've had my first in-person callback since the pandemic. People have been do your everything on Zoom. Zoom, 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 Zoom,
Right.
Zoom, 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 Zoom. And I got a note from my agent yesterday. I was like, oh, you have an in-person callback. They would prefer you in person, but if you have to do Zoom, they get it. And I was just like, oh, I get to go in and see people. I'm so excited because being in a box is too much. I'm not a box kind of girl. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So I was happy to
So
get
you
out the box.
you about to get your Hollywood on.
Trying. Rip me out the paper. I've been acting brand new.
Trying.
No, I'm not trying. Trying is a bad word.
Right.
I am.
You are, right.
I am. I'm just, I'm grateful.
That's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that. What I mean, what kind of role is it? Is it a horror film?
It's commercial. So just
commercial. Okay.
Please God. But the other girl that came, because when you go for a callback, just so everybody knows, they're not calling you just you back. They're calling like several people. And I'm, playing a mother. So they try to fit the people together to see who works and if they could follow instruction, if you could do it. So me and the kids got along great. I told those children, I said, hey, when they put you with this new mama, tell them you don't like her. You like the first mama you had almost as much as you like your actual mama. So they were just laughing. You got to take a little humor in there.
Right. Well, you should show them that movie you was in when you was a mama. I mean, you probably wasn't the best mama in that movie, but you still was a mama.
I mean, while I was in jail, I was concerned about my child. So
right, you were concerned. But when you was at the park and that lady walked up to you and she was like, look, I don't got time for all this.
Don't play by my son. I don't play by mine.
Right.
And I don't. So yeah, my child used to have to tell me, mama, before he tell me something, listen, I'm okay. That's the first thing. Second, you do not have to go in with guns blazing. Because while I am not that mama that's gonna uphold no foolishness. If my child acted up, I'll beat him right in front of all of y'all. I'm not the gentle parent, I'm not her. But and the reverse of that, if you making up some stuff about this poor little child over here that just in here trying to learn his little business. Right. I always err on the side of my child is probably wrong because so many times we like, my child would never. Honey, you don't know what your child do when you close your eyes at night.
Oh, so. Right.
But I also be thinking. We be thinking that child, my child, he used to. I remember this parent, bless her heart, her child had murdered someone, a robbery that went bad, and she had the audacity to say, "Well, I mean, he just used to steal. He wasn't. So I know my child didn't do it because he only stole. That's all he did." Ma'am, the fact that you know your child is a thief and you ain't done nothing about it and you okay with it, it's problematic.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not their mama, but. The kids always love to play with me. They love Miss Arle. Oh my God, they love me because children need discipline. It's that simple.
Yeah. It's definitely this new generation. It's different now. These children are extra sheltered, I would say.
Cottonelle soft.
I mean, they don't. When they get out in the real world, it's gonna be a rude awakening because they don't have skills. They don't know how to work and earn things, and so everything is given to them. So that's why when they leave, they just want to come back. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know nothing else. It's difficult, and it's unfortunate.
I was thinking today and driving, it was a car on the side of the road, and I was like, kids don't even learn like how to check their oil anymore, how to change a tire. They will literally abandon the entire car.
Right.
Because was running hot. They don't know you're supposed to put fluids in it. Like they just I was sitting there thinking, like, who teaches that stuff now? You used to learn it in but you used to learn a lot of kind of stuff. Too. But the daddies don't know it. I
don't know it, and that's a problem.
Walk up to your other counterparts in your age group and ask them if they know how to do some stuff.
Oh, I mean, I'm just thinking about my friends that I hang with, just my peers.
They know how to do stuff.
I don't know no one of them that don't know how to, now whether or not they want to do it, that's a whole nother story. But knowing how to, they all know how to do things that, but that's being raised by, your grandfather, having an uncle, having a stepdad, or even having your dad, it was some man around that taught them these lessons. So.
Right, because what we've done is women, and I am she. I didn't do that to my son, but I'm in the group of women who just by nature I'm a woman, but we as a collective have ruined our sons. They don't know how to do nothing. And our daughters too, because we won't make them learn how to cook nothing or clean. They just want to be cute, honey, and get somebody to take care of them. How does that work exactly? I don't even, we were talking about that last night, how this is them 30 somethings. They all like, I just want to find a man to take care of me. Have a whole degree. Can't do nothing. She just want to be pretty. Ma'am, I don't think that's enough.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to one of my clients yesterday, and she was just telling me some stuff. We were talking about something along these same lines, and I was just letting her know, a 31-year-old is really 22 today. When right when I was well, I'll say my grandparents probably started having children around 16, 17 years old. They had 11 children. Then the next generation, that age kind of went into the 20s. And now you down there need to be 30 something before you have a baby. And that's unfortunate, because that goes against humanity. That goes against your human nature. So right. I mean, the truth is, no matter how uncomfortable people like, because they want to be civil. And I always say humanity before civility. The truth is, when a girl have a period, she really have a baby. That's just the laws of nature.
That's not the fifth grade. I can't even imagine having a baby in the fifth grade.
Listen, that's because we're in a capitalistic society. I'm just talking about human nature. God would not do it if you wasn't supposed to be ready to do it.
God punished us with a period.
So don't get mad at me. Blame God. Be mad at.
I ain't blaming you, but I don't think God intended like my 11-year-old self to pop out nobody's baby.
Do you think the Most High intended for communism or capitalism or fascism?
No, but I don't think that has anything to do with birthing babies. I mean, God.
Yeah, because people having babies at that age. You gotta understand, when the Civil War was fought, the Civil War was fought with a lot of teenagers. Men with 13, 14, 15 years old fighting the war for freedom. Now you can't imagine right now today, you can't imagine having a 13-year-old, 14-year-old boy out there fighting for your freedom and for your rights.
I don't like the 18-year-olds being out there fighting, because I know what I was like when I was 18.
Correct. So things change over time. Everything is being pushed back.
But some of that is for a good reason. You're not physically developed. You're not mentally developed enough to be talking about, I want to go fight and kill people, or I want to push out a baby.
No, you're not.
In the fifth grade.
Right. You're not mentally developed for the social standards that we're living in. You're not ready to, as far as being civil enough to handle certain things, you're not ready. But as far as human nature goes, as far as that goes, oh yeah, you're perfectly ready. Or else the Most High universe won't have you producing sperm at 12, and won't have you having a period at 11 and 12 years old. If that was the case.
Perhaps it was also to show you some restraint and teach you how to have some,
That's the old thing that's saying nothing new under the sun.
I know, but I promise you this, I can't even.
You can't imagine it.
I could go back to like my grandmama's time. My grandmother was 18 or 20 something. I mean, that seems, better than 11.
Right. That's because, and I knew a girl in the 6th grade who did have a baby. I know a couple of young girls, but that ain't my point. My point, and that's too young for the type of culture that we in today. But my point is, the reason why you can't fathom it is because you're very civilized. You went to school. You've learned, you know what I'm saying? Same with me. I'm very civilized. I can't imagine that. I would say the same thing. I wouldn't want my daughter having no baby at 11, 12 years old, no matter what's going on. Yeah. But that's because of the society that we live in. But if we were just living in a pure society based on nature, living amongst the trees and not eating processed foods, there was no capitalism. People weren't doing God knows what to get $1. You know what I'm saying? Then things would be different. You had a sense of family, a sense of village. You actually had tribes to take care of people, and like everything has changed. The whole dynamic of the planet has changed.
That is true. That is very true.
And that's gonna lead us into the Great Relate.
Yes. Let's
Because
talk about it. Let's talk about it. Because I'm disturbed on multiple levels as a woman. And I want to give people their freedom of speech and their freedom of stuff. But sometimes we need to just be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, it's a great relationship debate. He said, she said, he said, she said, he said, she said. Ooh.
that was beautiful.
Thank you. I just made that up. You know, I'm a creative. That's what I do. So y'all listen. The other day on the Two Live Stew show, one of my reports was about Anthony Edwards, 23-year-old basketball phenom doing his thing. He's from the A where we don't play and we ride on them things like every day. And he's having some baby mama. He, right at this moment, could potentially have 4 babies under the age of 1.
Wow,
He
that's
is
he really put it
23.
in.
He has been getting it. He been digging them, laying them down.
That means he had some of these women pregnant at the same time.
At the same damn time. At the same damn time.
It happened to me one time. That's a story.
Now they always got to. So it has not happened to me, y'all. For
You
all
can't
y'all
get
out there and know it
twice
all.
at the same time.
It didn't even happen. I ain't know who the baby daddy was. Not even like, I'm not sure. I was not on my Maury Povich.
Right.
Nadi, you want to tell the story or you want to tell your story?
No,
I've been getting these new stories too, y'all. When Nadi tell them, I'm just like this.
I just saying I know the feeling, you know. Now he might have had 4 pregnant at the same time if they all under one, but I only had 2. You know,
my uncle did that. He had 4 pregnant, allegedly. My uncle, shout out to my uncle. He had 4 at the same time. All of them kids. One's born in December, one is born in March. The 2 new ones that have appeared. We just met them 40 plus years later. But yeah, that's
I was young
it
at the time, so it can happen for a young man.
It can happen it can.
Right,
so he has a girlfriend that he claims, and then she just had a baby. Okay, that's the girlfriend. Then somehow he supposedly is messing with Lil Baby's former baby mama and had a baby with her right there. And well, that's the one he's petitioning the court for right now, I guess, to do blood tests and stuff. And if it is, I'm sure he's gonna take care of his child and all that stuff. And then he has 2 with these other 2 girls that are I guess are not as relevant.
Hold on, you said Lil Baby had a baby with that same girl?
Lil Baby got a baby with that girl.
Oh man, wow.
So Lil Baby, so the girl, this is talking about him having all the kids was like, oh, that's a lot for a 23-year-old. You talk about nature and we could have them early, and as soon as you get sperm, I said that's true. I'm not
million. I'm okay with him having 4 babies with, but
I'm not okay with the way it going down. That's just me. I get it. I'm not like, oh, I'm a prude. You can't be doing it. My thing is always is why you got to prove you effing somebody. To me, proving it is I got a baby on the way or I'm pregnant. You can have all the sex you want, but is your whole goal to just have babies with these random girls who could potentially cause problems and do other stuff? Then it turns. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying you do understand that when you have sex with a person that the Most High Universe or God or whatever you call them, the intentions are to reproduce
every single time.
Every single time. What else is fornication?
I'm trying to get it
in. You understand what fornication is, right?
But you're not fornicating if you married. It's fornication. Whether fornication does not indicate. Well, I'm gonna have to look up the definition.
I mean,
I thought fornication was sex without marriage.
Fornication just not sex. You can fornicate, you can fornicate the weed. If you smoking marijuana, you already high, and you just keep on smoking. You a roster would say you fornicating the weed.
I don't know if that's a definition though, Nadi. Like,
right, you just doing you using something for the purpose that is not intended to do. So,
but sex is fornication, sexual intercourse between people not married to each other. But if I'm married to you and I'm not gonna get pregnant,
I'm saying we do understand that. I'm saying we do understand that the purpose of sex is to reproduce, right?
Not every time, no.
Every time.
Your body got.
No, we don't do it. Once again, this goes back to what we was talking about before the show. I mean, before we got into this topic, we don't do it every time because we trying to be civil And we trying to live in this society where
I ain't trying to stay knocked up every time I lay down. That means I can't lay down, but every 9 months I can't get pregnant.
Back in the day, every time you laid down, you were knocked up.
But
that's why people were having 15 children, 20 children.
But every time, like, just say, okay, I get pregnant in January. I can't get pregnant again until October anyway. Right. So I can have sex during that time with my husband, boyfriend, whatever.
Right. This is why
I can't make no more babies though during that time. So that's not right.
This is why men traditionally, if you go back, had more than one woman. They had more than one, a concubine, a wife. I mean, let's take it biblical if you want to.
Okay. I know the Bible don't say nothing about marriage.
Sarah
construct.
Sarah couldn't have babies.
She could not. And
she can't have babies. So what she do? She was a woman. She was like, look, baby, I know you want to have some children.
But the Lord told her to hold on. She did it on her own.
I can't have no kid. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let you have this lady right here. You can go ahead and knock her up. Y'all can have children, but we gonna be together. I still love you. He had a baby with her. Sarah was 90 years old, and the Most High said, look, you can have a baby, and they still had a baby.
But if you read deeper into that, that's why they talk about we have conflict, because the Lord didn't tell her to give, what's her name, Rebecca? I don't think Rebecca was the concubine. Hannah. Jesus, everybody was giving people concubines back then.
Right.
She wasn't supposed to do that. But that's a whole nother story.
I mean, right. That's anyway. Just biblical. I'm just saying if we just go just off human nature and go to the past, men had multiple women for that reason alone, right there, because I knocked her up. Okay, she got to be nursing. She got to be ready to have this baby. In the meantime, and it wasn't looked at as I got something on the side. No, they knew each other. Everybody cool. Yeah. We know what's going on. It wasn't taboo. It just that for some reason, I think definitely coming into around certain people, colonizers, like our values changed. Like they civilized us. We were human. We were more human than civilized beings, and now, we're a certain kind of way.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, I don't think, but I guess if I continued in that vein, I guess I'd want to share, but I don't like sharing.
Of course, you've been taught not to share.
I know, and
that's been your whole existence. So it's no knock against you. But in this
case, I said, I guess if I had grown up that way, I'd understand it. Like,
but what didn't happen was, what didn't happen and never has happened, and still it's I guess it's happening today. Is these men sharing baby mamas? I didn't have a baby with the woman, and then you had a baby. Like, that's my woman to have a baby with. You get your own woman to have a baby with. Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with this Aaliyah Petty. She had a baby with Anthony Simon and Brandon Ingram. Now, Brandon, they were just playing each other the other day, and Brandon Ingram hit a game-winning shot on Anthony Simon. Was like, my boy gonna know that his daddy was better than yo. Like, come on, like they doing too much.
It's too much, y'all.
Oh, now
you talking about that? There's no civilization. There's nothing civilized in what they do.
There's nothing civilized about that.
And it's almost like, so back, it used to be, if your part, that's what we were talking about. If you mess with the girl and then she tried to holler at you or y'all broke up, your boys wasn't about to swoop in and be like, hey, what's up? I know you just with my dude. Unless she was going to be some ran through, as you say.
Right. She was going to be some ran through. That's it. Or else you're going to get clown.
We're not going to boo her up or wife her or whatever. And now Usher made that song about the strippers need to be, I'm in love with her. And it's just become like the thing now. It used to be bad if you even were a stripper. People would be like, oh, clutch pearls.
That's when it started going. That's when I noticed the change. Right. When, what was his name? He said he's in love with a stripper, and right, and I was like, what is this? Because I came up off UGK, I came up off 8 Ball on JG,
right?
That's Skinny Pimp, like this is unheard of to me.
Absolutely. And I don't like it. Just for example, like Larsa Pippen. Look at all the men. She was with Scotty. Then she went with this one. Now, well, look at all the people she done dated. She was with Michael Jordan's son, y'all. How do you go with your boys? And I don't care if they was battling. Maybe it was the hate. She was like, we were really close and I love him. And blah, blah.
No.
Oh, I would. That's like me dating Notty, I'm gonna go date your son. We work together. I'm about to go date. We work together, and I'm gonna date your son.
Well, that's different. We just work together. We ain't got no baby. I ain't smashing.
Oh,
That'd
that
be
would be
different.
Yeah. If we had been married, and then I
Right.
turn around, and now I'm gonna
Right.
date.
That'll be out of pocket.
She doing too much, and
That
she's
just
okay with it. It's like, what is happening? And everybody's like, let that girl live. It ain't that. It just goes in line with, like you've
you're
said it
right.
before, and I use it. They are planting things in our community to stop us from
Right.
procreating. Because if I see one more show, and ain't nothing against people who want to have sex with the same sex, I ain't trying to talk about you. I swear to
Right.
God, I'm not. But y'all know they putting more and more of that on TV. I just saw a reel with two older black men who were about to be like booed up and trying to all of that.
Right.
I was like, wait a minute. Now they can still make babies, but I just think it's a whole, like, all of this is just to screw us up. Like we do-see doing with each other's
It's
partners.
programming. I saw a movie yesterday that for no reason, the white dude in the movie was a criminal, but he had this black girl. They were about to have a baby. He needed to make it home before. I'm like, wow, why they couldn't find a white woman to cast in this spot, and they can have the
We
baby.
want to work, though, Nadia. We want to work. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad she got to work. I will say that, but it's just like, this is why amongst a lot of black men, Russell Wilson is looked at a certain kind of way, even though he's a
like
black
Russell?
man. A lot of black men don't like Russell.
Because he was Sierra?
Well, not because he was Sierra. I think that's the subconscious part of it is because he was Sierra. It's because they don't view him as Lamar Jackson black. They don't look at him as a Jameis Winston black. They want a black quarterback to win like that. But the fact that he with Future baby mama,
So
and
Sierra can't never get with nobody else ever because Future was with her. She made the
I'm saying that.
era
I mean,
of being with him, the baby's
that's
not
the
the era,
same thing. We can have that same argument for these other women that she got a baby with little baby, so she can't get with Anthony Edwards either and have a baby.
That's very true.
No, but I don't put the onus
I gotta be
on
mad
these
at the
women.
dude.
I don't put the onus on these women. These women trying to survive. They gotta do what they gotta do. They want a quote unquote high value man, I guess, because he got money. He's high value. Okay, so they just trying to stay in the game. I put this on the men. It's enough women out here for you to have your own. You can't tell me there's only 20 bad women out here, so we all got to share these 20. No. The ratio of women to men is outstanding. You should be able to have 2-3 women and never cross paths with another person unless you just trying to smash her. But to have a baby with her,
right?
Come on,
well, let me
man.
tell you
y'all doing too much.
So I didn't even think about it like that with Sierra and Future and Russell. I just love that relationship because it just looks like a fairy tale to me, Lord Jesus. So as a girl, we ain't tripping. We glad somebody stepped in and want to take care of your child and not mistreating your child from a previous relationship. But from that other side, you're like, well, yeah,
at least that's Future baby. I mean, they got their own kids too.
Yeah. Wow. I ain't even think. I mean, I guess you could look at that. I'm sad now because I wanted my own. I'm like Sierra, but let me say what I did hear from a young lady in the NFL space. I can't speak for all of them. And she was saying that when she divorced her husband, who was a very popular NFL player as well, or when they divorced, some other NFL player came after her and she was just like, I don't want that. And he was like, no, basically you're vetted already. Like, we know who you are. We know you can handle this limelight. Right. We know what you are. So that's why they keep them in that same little circle. So perhaps that's it. It's still nasty though. Y'all nasty.
Man, we can knock them down. We don't supposed to get with her in a relationship but have a baby with her.
Russell had 3 babies with Sierra now, honey.
Right. I mean, well, she heals now, but
she put a ring on it. Don't that make it different? If I'm just having a baby with you, that's different.
No, it don't make a difference. She was with Future, but they had a baby. They were together.
Sierra is different. Don't listen to Notty. I'm gonna find a way to make it different. Just let me
No,
focus on it
I'm
for a
okay
minute.
with Sierra making the decision. She
I
did what
know.
was best for her. I've put this is
Russell
I'm
used to
telling
be
you,
with one of
I'm
them
telling you,
girls.
this
I
is
couldn't
why
stand him.
this is why a lot of black men who watch football,
Don't like
this
Russell.
is part of, they don't like Russell Wilson.
Damn, I didn't know that. I thought people loved Russell.
Yeah, my mama love Russell Wilson though.
Me
She don't
too.
like Sierra though. She say
What?
Sierra messing up Russell Wilson football career. Say he got started since he started messing with her. My mama love Russell Wilson.
That. And I think he my cousin, y'all. I think Russell my cousin. So I got to like him.
Yeah.
His family from the tip too.
Yeah. Well, you might need to make that phone call. You and Sierra might hook up.
Do a movie together.
I mean, plug in with some of the Missy Elliott. Do a show.
I could be I'll be ready.
Well, we get back. We're gonna talk about these folks not being ready. For some of this, it's some political mumbo jumbo. I mean, this carnage. What's going on with these ballots?
God is doing too much. We'll
get into it right after this break. Y'all stay tuned. Hey, make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe button. We'll be right back and share it with somebody right here on the No Show with Arle and Notty.
The No Show.
Is it too early to tell y'all what I was thinking about yesterday then on this note?
Go ahead. Here we go. Get ready to dump you.
I really thought about this for about an hour yesterday.
Okay. All right, let's hear it.
2028, man, I'm thinking about running for president of the United States. If I start right now today,
Notty,
if I start my
you got my support, man.
Because guess what I'm gonna do? I was thinking about a reparations plan. I was thinking about a re-education plan, getting teachers raises. Like I really was formulating my whole campaign. And I said, if I start today, in 4 years, will I be ready to be president of the United States of America?
Like I just said, Donald Trump with no experience was president of the United States of America. He's got a good chance of winning again. Hell no. Why not?
Right.
I believe in you. I trust you. I believe in you way more than I do Trump. So why would I vote for you, Notty?
Mama, you doing too much.
Y'all out there in know-it-all land, listen. I know you by now. I'm sorry, I can take these off. I know by now you have heard the stories of ballot boxes, physical ballot boxes being burned down. We are in a freaking third world country when it comes to this political election. And in Portland, Oregon, I'm going to read y'all a quick little story. In Portland, not Portland, sorry. Portland didn't put y'all out there like that. Hundreds of ballots were destroyed or damaged in fires set Monday at 2 ballot boxes in the Pacific Northwest. One in Vancouver, Washington, and one, it was in Portland, Oregon. I didn't lie. I'm sorry, Portland, you back in it. And they found just, they're going to have to go through the rubbish. So in that particular area in Vancouver, less than 1% of their voters vote in person. So they need, 60% is by mail-in, 40%. Let me see how they said. Let me break down again. Hold on, because I'm lying. I'm about to lie and I ain't want to lie. 475 were damaged. Where is my note on that? I just read it and I can't find it. I hate when that happens. 60% of the ballots received are from ballot drop boxes and 40% are received by mail. So
that means some people gonna have 2 votes.
They're not gonna have 2 votes because if you can hold on to one of them, you can put that one through the machine. The ones that are destroyed, they're going to have to try to go and see what information they can find on that document to contact those particular people and ask them, I guess, to fill out another ballot or to come in and vote. Some of those probably service people from overseas. You just don't know. And this might do. Whoever did, they said it's a man. It's one that happened October 8th, and then these 2, they think it's the same person. I I have used the ballot box before on the side because my son does a absentee ballot when he was in college and he still lives here, but he's in college, so he still votes in Georgia. And what we learned, because we were so terrified, this is how silly this is. You didn't think nothing about this years ago, 2020, but now you have to physically think about how that ballot is going to make it here. So I'm like, okay, you fill it out. Then you put it in another envelope, put it inside of another envelope,
Right.
send it to me. Then I'm going to physically take it and put it in the ballot box at the courthouse because I figured they ain't going to be doing the nefarious at the courthouse. And that's what we've had to do the last 2 times he had to vote. I'm just trying to figure out where we are. I'm trying to figure out why people are so angry. I'm trying to figure, I don't understand. I'm not figuring it out because I know I'm never going to understand it, but I would love to just sit down with, like somebody showed a video of this gentleman the other day who somebody had a Harris Waltz bumper sticker on the car, lady, her husband, and a baby seat. The man comes around, pulls around him and starts cursing. You fucking liberals. And he cussing at them. And the lady's like, I got a baby in my car. It just turns. I'm just trying to figure out why, particularly, these men are so angry. Y'all, now they have said
Everybody's angry. It's gang mentality.
We're not blowing up. Well, typically.
It's Crips versus Bloods. Why are they angry at each other? They all got the same oppressor. Why are they upset with each other? Because of the red color and the blue color? I mean, the same thing happened with this football player the other day. After the game, he wore a MAGA hat. He was like, let's go Trump. And then, now you had a lot of people, especially black people, saying, oh, well, he should get kicked out the game like Kaepernick did. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, that's not the same thing.
Right. It's going both ways because unfortunately, definitely at this particular election right here, we can call it what we want to call it. It's black and white. You know what I'm saying? It's red and blue. And the people have been programmed to have this gang mentality. Well, nobody can have an opinion. Nobody can, this is the time to really keep your opinion to yourself because whatever opinion you got, somebody else is going to oppose it, and
my grandmother said she
didn't want to get violent. Yeah, they talking about civil war if Trump don't win.
They are.
Right. That's terrible.
But let's go back. That would have, this is what I think has happened. That particular person, Chump, he opened Pandora's box. Okay, so we've always been a powder keg of racism. It's always been there, but it was kept under wraps. We have hate crime bills, and we have all these bills to try to help suppress it. You're not going to try that because you know something's going to happen to you. He, unfortunately, made it okay. And truth be told, I don't think he really believes all that stuff. I just think he loves the power of it all. Because he ain't think about them people that support him. Some of the people that support him, he ain't think about them people. He ain't trying to make no laws to help them. He ain't trying to make no policy to make them great. He ain't whatever. And when you ask people, what does make it great again mean? Right. What does that mean? Then they can't give us any kind of answers to.
There ain't no answers unless you white.
It wasn't great. Right. So, but I will say this. When you made a statement that everybody's angry, I'm going to have to. I'm not saying I disagree because everybody is angry, but this particular group of people, particularly the XY chromosome of that group of people, have been angry mob-like for the duration of our history in this country.
I was going to say they've been angry my whole life. When I came out, they were angry.
But I'm trying to figure out where it's like you're mad. And they said this is the first time in history that white men are not as successful as their forefathers. So there's a lot of that's why they're able to pull this young group into more hate-filled kind of rhetoric and stuff, because they need somebody to blame for their shortcomings. And they haven't, if you, that's what you and I were talking about earlier. If you ain't had to do nothing your whole life, your parents just gave you stuff,
Right.
and all of a sudden you
Right.
got to do something. You shameless, you lazy, you trifling, you all this
Exactly.
stuff. And most of those children, I remember my son went to a private school for a hot second. Had taken from out there because y'all was ruining my good black spirits to child. And I would not say the name of that school, but I was ready to drag them MF was talking about they was Christian. Y'all ain't no Christian up in here. I know the Lord.
They
Y'all
are.
ain't talk to him.
All these
Anyway,
different kind of Christians they got. All
well,
Christians are the same. That's one
I'm
thing
just
I
saying
learned
the
in my
Bible we all
lifetime.
supposed to be pulling from. They were. That's what
Man,
I'm saying.
you know
They
how
say
many
they were,
different
but they were not.
religions pull from the Bible, how the churches, how the
You don't miss what I'm
church is
saying.
separated. I mean, we got all these different denominations of the church, and
I
then you
understand.
got the Jehovah Witnesses, and they read the Bible, but they don't
Well,
believe in certain
but
things.
all of them
Then
believe
ain't
in
none of them reading the
continual.
Torah. Only ones reading the Torah are the Jewish people.
Well, I'm just trying to say that you cannot use Christianity to oppress. That's all.
They've been using
Anywho,
Christianity to oppress since slavery.
now I
That's how they
understand it.
was
That's what
able
I'm
to.
saying.
That's how they
That's
was
why I
able
said I
to
pulled
do
my
it.
son from the school. You arguing
Right.
with me about something
No,
I
no,
agree
I'm
with
just
you
saying,
on.
I'm just letting you know that Christianity is one of the most oppressive religions that you can have. I
Well,
mean,
I
it's
don't
just
know,
the facts of the matter. Now,
but I'm
a
not.
lot of these presidential candidates, well, we just really there. I went to vote the other day. I looked at it. It was 6 presidential candidates on the ballot,
What?
but yeah, it was 6 of them on there. Right. I was like, wow, I didn't even know these other people were running. I had to do my research, look up their policies and stuff like that. So, but a lot of times the main two, because they have extreme budgets. They have a lot of campaign funding, so they can do commercials and they can do the ads that come to your mailbox, and they can do people having the signs in their yard, and they can have these lobbyists and stuff go out and that type of thing because they pay these people. They pay these celebrities to get up there and say, "I'm voting this way" or "I'm voting this way." And at one time, I know 50 Cent was one of the big
He was
pushers
a
of
big
Donald
Trump
Trump.
support. I thought
But
so.
now it looked like he tell Trump no?
He did. He said on the Breakfast Club that they called him to ask him to do the Madison Square Garden issue that's on fire right now because of the comedian who went in and talked a lot
Right,
of junk about
right,
Hispanic people. And I get it. I'm all, you and I had a whole debate about comedians and all that stuff. That
right,
wasn't the place for that. That wasn't a comedy show. That was a political rally where you're talking
right.
about the
Well,
state
you
of the
shouldn't have
country.
a
So that's
comedian up
totally
there.
different.
That's on Trump. He shouldn't have had a comedian come up there
He's
and
talking about he
speak.
know Nick. Okay.
A
But
comedian gonna be a comedian.
right. And why was that what you want to do? You're supposed to be trying to pull people. And that's what's killing me about it. He is openly divisive. Like he is openly, I don't want you. And I appreciate your honesty. I don't want to be over there where people don't want me. But it's
Right,
interesting that I think we have just gotten so big on wanting to be accepted that we just talk about they said, my aunt was saying yesterday, they have like Hispanic people or people that look like us are like, well, he's not talking about me. Well, who are you talking about then? If he's not talking about you, because we all fall under that category or whatever. But yeah, it's a lot of divisive. I'm everybody's like, I can't wait for this to be over. I am fearful for when it's over because if it doesn't go the way that particular person wants, it's gonna be a whole mess because his
right,
supporters are so angry. They're not even like, okay, well, they're literally people. I watched a 60 Minutes special the other day. There are literally people still fighting in certain states and areas. Maricopa County of Arizona is one of them to still say the election was stolen. That was 4 years ago, baby.
right.
I mean, what with no evidence. And they just go with, well, that don't matter. I don't care. I don't need evidence.
I think sometimes, I mean, definitely when it's a political like this particular race, like the time when Obama ran the first time when he ran against John McCain. I think the heat was so high that I think if Barack Obama had a loss, I think people were ready, definitely black people. I think black people were ready to go over the edge and ready
Yeah,
to
we were so
stand up
ready.
for themselves and fight, you know. And
Mm.
then Obama won, and then everybody kind of relaxed, and we're going, okay, we're
I
going
don't know if
let
these people do need it. Naughty. I don't. I just don't know if we have. I don't think it's. I feel like some rage that we had after George Floyd, perhaps, but I don't think we're not as invested as we were. Like George, we're just not as invested, I don't think.
I mean, I just think, I hate to have to say it because I'm not that way, but a lot of black people don't want to stand up and fight and do nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and that goes back to Dr. King days, you know. Things wouldn't change
anymore if I didn't.
Civil rights of them white pastors hadn't got killed in the streets. When them white pastors got killed, that's when we started getting civil rights. Them folk didn't give a damn what Dr. King was doing. We'll lock him up. We'll sit these dogs on them, put their water hose on them. But when them white folks started marching with us and them white pastors got harmed, that's when they were like, okay, let's go make some changes because this is affecting white folks.
Well, and the other parts of that, and I'll say this quickly. I had the blessing of sitting with Andrew Young for many, many months, and I got watching his videos and going through all this stuff. And it's so much more to that story. And we'll get into that one day on an episode of You Know It Alls. I forgot I had all this stuff. I need to pull that.
Oh yeah. Shout out Newsnet, Mocha, all y'all in the chat. I've been chatting the whole show. I just been chatting with these people because I know you got an event to get to, and we're gonna get you out of here on time. So we might not have time to read the chat, but I'm fooling with y'all folk, man. So y'all just stay tuned. We got a pretty good Negro Need to Know. Arle putting it together.
Arle be doing the thing.
So y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all share with somebody. Right here on the No Show. Arle and Notty.
Have you ever been stranded on the side of the road, Arle?
Yes.
It's not comfortable, is it?
No.
Dogs and poodles, if you find yourself in a jam on the side of the highway, give my folks at Bay 11 Towing a call, 44770-6949. Again, that's 404-770-6949. Being stranded on the side of the road in Metro Atlanta is very stressful and dangerous. Bay 11 Towing is who you need to call, whether you're dealing with a flat tire, dead battery, full-on breakdown, or whatever that may have you on the side of the road. Call our folks at Bay 11 Towing, and they will get to you with a competitive rate and quicker than everybody else in town. Again, that's Bay 11 Towing. That number is 404-770-6949. When you know what to do with what you got, you can do more with it. All right. So shouts out to my man Lavrell, as well as the World Changers, making this thing happen and getting it done with your financial needs. All right. The World Changers help empower individuals and communities throughout financial education and implementation. Your agent Lavrell Hawkins has made significant strides in the financial services industry, using his expertise to guide and support others in achieving financial stability as well as success. Lavrell uses an holistic approach that addresses the mental, physical, financial, and spiritual aspects of being in a well space and place when it comes to your finances, all right? Y'all give them a call, 919-764-4626. That's 919-764-4626. The World Changes Financials and Lavrell are dedicated to empowering you and your communities through financial education and implementation. 919-764-4626.
We're still teaching that Columbus discovered America. We're still teaching that those people who lived here were called Indians because of Christopher Columbus. It's all a bunch of hokum. It isn't true. The first people that inhabited this continent and every other continent on the face of the earth came from Africa. People from Africa came to what we call the North American continent between 20,000 and 10,000 years before Columbus was a gleam in his father's eye. What we call black people were here before there were any white people on the face of the earth. There were no white people until enough people from Africa moved into the northern climates, and their skin, their hair, and their eyes got lighter as they were exposed to less and less melanin, sunshine, so their bodies produced less and less melanin. That's the only reason my skin is this color, because my great-great-grandparents came from Ireland, which is in the northern climates. We don't teach the truth to kids. I don't think they teach the truth to kids in Europe either, because we all seem to think that the most important thing you can be is white. There is no such thing as a white person.
So you guys, that is the internationally known teacher, lecturer, diversity trainer, and recipient of the National Mental Health Association Award for Excellence in Education, Jane Elliott. She's always all over somewhere. Of course, white people hate her. Black people love to listen to her. She speaks a lot of truth about, how the world is perceived. And I was watching another video called The Black Codes, and they also mentioned, they asked these two white people, like, how did y'all become white people? They were like, I don't know what the word was, because there is no such thing. Like, it's a color. It's not we're all in the human race, and we all are different parts of the race.
And we discussed that previously on the show. I know we brought it up last week when I told you about, when they came up with the races, the white for the Europeans, and the red was for the Native Americans, and the yellow was for the Asians. Right. And we also discussed how, like I said, black people been over here. We been know how to navigate these waters. Every time a white person was trying to come over here, they had to have a black navigator, a black captain, because they don't know how the currents run.
They don't know how to do nothing. That's why they mad now, because they don't know nothing.
We were proficient in that. I mean, we were proficient in a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff we still do. You had the Canaanites, black people went up into Europe and Spain, when they had the bubonic plague. They were drinking and bathing out of the water that they were pooping in. they rats there all over the place. We the one taught them how to put together a plumbing system, and how to be civil, and how to taught them math, taught them how to write. But it wasn't a racial thing. It was just like, human. We understand how to do these things. We're gonna show y'all how to do these things. Yep. I mean, we still to this day, and I mean, maybe we've been taught, but we use toilets. We flush the water and it goes into it, and then they got to clean it out and all that stuff. It got to be a better way. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
What I hate is that we have always been, I never thought that we were inferior. So that's never a way that I grew up.
No, right.
None of that stuff. My parents made sure I knew different. Like, you smart,
correct,
and you can do things, and you can think and reason. I just hate that so many of us, based on, like, because I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I can't take another I can't take no more sexy red, y'all. I've tried. I've tried. I'm happy for the lady. I'm not trying to take no opportunities from people. I know, but you mean to tell me there is no other talented, and she can't rap? I don't care. She can come try to fight me. She gonna win, y'all. She gonna win the fight. She gonna whoop my ass. I promise she is. But
she
you
might not.
Tell me there ain't no other woman with talent that we should have our children emulating and looking up to in this world of where they already telling we inferior. So all we can do, I watched this dude send this thing. He talked about there are 3 ways that they sexualize, that they handle women in the media, and Kamala Harris has been handled all those 3 ways. It's, making us some kind of like, ooh, sexual object. That's why they did that with slavery. They wanted, maybe if she's so sexual, she gonna be able to get make all the babies, and she gonna get you some more slaves. Then the second way was that we were this nurturing mammy type. So then they pushed that out there in the media. And he said all those stereotypes from slavery have still gone on. I forgot what the third one was, but all 3 of those are how they handle women. And we just keep buying into the stereotype. Here we got people that are letting you know we started civilization. Like, it would be not here if it was not for us. And what we want to go do is twerk and have babies in our throat. You've heard the song "Throat Baby," right?
Yeah, I heard it.
That's what we doing, y'all. That's what we doing.
Yeah, that's not what everybody doing. That's just what the people who are not able to control their programming, right? Because the truth of the matter is, for every sexy red, there's a Flo J. Johnson. There's an NDRE out here. We got a lot of conscious artists, rappers, singers, and everything. It's just when you talk about mainstream media, they're gonna push the programming and the agendas that they want to push. And unfortunately, they won't.
Bound and down.
Yes, unfortunately, they want to kill us. They want to keep us down. They want to keep us in a lower class, so to say. Okay, that's why we have to choose our own programming that we want our kids to have. I mean, a lot of these people, what we're talking about, grown people in their 40s, 50s, 30s, 40s, 50s, who get in their cars, they listen to Sexy Red. They listen to whatever's on the radio, and then the kids in the back seat, as influential as they are, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and they know all the words because their brain is developing and they can retain information a lot better than the older people can at that point. And this is what they know. You're not getting in the cars and you're putting on the conscience music or the music that you want them to grow up listening to with the values that you have. That's not what they're doing. So I mean, a lot of people are to blame or culpable for what's going on. They just have to recognize it and do something about it.
Yeah, this particular Jane Elliott, back to her and what she said, we don't recognize, and that stuff I'm learning every day, new stuff. I didn't ever know that we were here prior. I knew that the Indians were not discovered. That's why they changed the name to Indigenous Peoples Day, because they were like,
right,
how you gonna discover something that's already here?
Well, it's just
You didn't discover it.
It's just totally idiotic. I mean, the reason they got called Indians because Christopher Columbus thought he had
was
landed in India. He ain't he about 8,000 miles away from India. You ain't nowhere close to India. Yep. But you call these folk Indian because your dumb ass don't know where the hell you at.
Right. And probably would listen to the black man who had navigated, sir, it's not India. No, it's India. Let's get this dark man. It's India. And then I want people to also know, and just look her up, Jane Elliott. She did this study back in 1968 called the blue eye, brown eye experiment, I think it is. And she had a class full of all white people, and Martin Luther King had passed, and she wanted to help her little white children in that classroom understand why what happened to Martin Luther King and what was happening to people that didn't look like them was so, egregious and important to know about and understand. So she did this experiment. If you had blue eyes on this side, brown eyes, and then she automatically made you inferior, I think, if you had brown eyes.
Right.
Kids like, hold up, I'm not whatever. And she was like, that's what black people feel like every day. They can't control the color of their skin, just like you didn't control the color of your eyes, but they're being taught that they're inferior, all because of that. So her life's work, it appears, has been on racial equality and pushing forward the human race and all that kind of stuff. So shouts out to people like her who are for real allies.
And rest in peace to the beautiful Dr. Frances Wasling, who also used to have these great teachings. She was a black lady who was very educated and scientific and brought the truth out. Now, unfortunately, I'm gonna say niggas. Ooh. Niggas are more apt to, and not melanated humans, not black people, but niggas. Okay, niggas are more apt to listen to white folk, but even though they know they done lied all their life about everything, they still want to get the information from white folk, and then they'll tell you, well, such I know this because a white man told me that, so I know this must be the truth. So, shouts out to Jane Elliott for keeping it 100, and maybe niggas will be more apt to listen to her because she white. Well, it's unfortunate.
They're not listening to her either because nobody want to hear. They all, when I was reading some of the comments, like, this lady, when is she gonna die already? White folks, black folks, everybody's like, that ain't true, because we are stuck in what we learn, and we don't. It's funny. We believe that y'all could have done a Tuskegee experiment or it sterilized or took all the cells from this one black woman that I said we believe that, but we're not gonna believe that we could have been here already. It's hard to really fathom. And what did they say? I can't remember this saying, but it's like, who told the story? Who are you gonna believe, the lion or the lamb? Like,
well, this is
lamb ain't here to tell that story.
Why I was okay with defunding the education department, because they've been teaching wrong. This is programming. This is why a lot of people think the way they think and can't believe certain things.
They didn't come in until 1970, so they ain't the only ones been teaching it wrong.
Unfortunately, the education been taught wrong for a long time, way before we got here. It's just been taught wrong, and I don't know if they're ever going to be taught right, because think about it. Why would the oppressor want to help the ones that he oppressed elevate above the oppressor? It makes no sense. You want to keep conquered people conquered.
Yep. And
so why would they teach us No, they're gonna teach us what they need to teach us to keep us inferior.
Or feeling inferior. You're absolutely right.
Right. Feeling inferior. Right.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I also want to say for the people out there, stuff people you need to know. Go look up. At one time before Reconstruction, we had Black senators, those gentlemen there, the first, and they were called colored then, senator and representatives in the 41st and 42nd Congress of the United States. From left to right, Hiram Revels of Mississippi, Representatives Benjamin Turner of Alabama, Robert DeLarge of South Carolina, Josiah Walls of Florida, Jefferson Long of Georgia, Joseph Rainey and Robert B. Elliott of South Carolina. And I just want to remind people that at one point, and this is a little bit of history, it says Reconstruction saw the election of an African-American senator, Hiram Revels of Mississippi, and several members of the House from the South. After a brief period of Republican control in the South, which saw major improvements in the lives of African-Americans, Southern states instituted new laws aimed at intimidating Black political activity. Right. So shortly after, they was like, y'all are involved in the process. And now, they're not going to let you be.
Right.
And they came with Jim Crow.
Well, they tried to keep Hiram Revels out of, because he was taking a seat that was that had been unoccupied, so to say. So he got voted into that seat. Now they didn't want to put him in that seat because he was a Black man. They was like, Black men don't have no rights, have no citizenship. That came from the Dred Scott case by the U.S. Supreme Court that said Black people didn't have any liberties to do nothing. They can't vote. They can't sit on the seat. So they had to get that overturned. And once they did, they was able to get him in that seat. But yeah, it was frowned upon. And that was by the Democrats. The Democrats was like, hell no, definitely the Southern Democrats, because Hiram Revels and most of those Black gentlemen that you saw, they were Republican. Back then, the Republican Party was more progressive towards Black people being citizens and being free and having equal rights. Now, I don't know at what point, I got to do my research and do my homework. At what point did that supposedly change? Because
I think it has something to do with Johnson, but I don't. It's a video that I watched, and I feel like they gave me some information on that had some clear information about when it changed from Republicans to Democrats and vice versa. Like, because Republicans used to be the ones that were more inclusive of the process, but Dred Scott was after Hiram Revels, so.
Right. I mean, you're right. It was out that they tried to use the Dred Scott case to keep Hiram Revels out of that seat, but they end up losing that case because historically the Dred Scott case is looked at as one of the worst decisions the U.S. Supreme Court has ever made.
I did not know that. I know that the case has a lot of, because they still refer to it, rule that Black people of African descent were not U.S. citizens. So they still refer to it in 1857. And Revels was elected to the Senate in 1870.
Right. This was the Dred Scott case was in 1857.
Right.
And if anybody want to know, just a little pretense before we get out of here, the Dred Scott case was about a slave from Missouri who was taken up north. So I think Wisconsin, where it was a free state. So when he was there, he was considered to be free. That's what he thought. And then they came back down to Missouri and they was like, well, you have no rights. You're a slave again. And so he's kept suing different states and different people to get his rights. Now he lost all of them because the United States Supreme Court said that he was Black. He didn't have no rights. So that was the Dred Scott case of 1857. You can into it, but yeah, Hiram ended up winning, and also he became the first president, the Black president of what we now know as Alcorn State.
Alcorn! My parents graduated from
just HBCU.
Yep.
So
my parents graduated from there, and I used to see Revels Hall when I go down there and visit, and I didn't never know what it was until I did this little bit of research. So shout out to the SWAC, home of the Braves.
Right. Reading is fundamental, people. A lot of people died, just like people died so you can vote. a lot more people died so you can read and be educated. So make sure you stay up on that. Shout out to everybody who in the chat, man. It's been fun with y'all being in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like, that subscribe, that share button.
Yes.
Leave your comments. We love it. This has been a good show. It was quick. We gonna make sure you make your appointment today.
Yes, because I just been all over the place. It's hard to get all your information out in an hour. It's so much work. It's like cooking a Thanksgiving dinner. You do all that work, and then you eat in 15 minutes, and it's time to wash the dishes.
Well, you know, black people start Thanksgiving cooking the day before.
Oh yes, I start chopping.
Sometimes 2 days before.
Because it's a lot.
Right.
So I had to start working on this show 2 days before. Oh, right. I be thinking like, Notty, I think I want to talk about this, and I had to go find it. So I feel like every Wednesday I got to do Thanksgiving dinner.
Right. Well, you know, I'm pretty sure you got some good stuff in the morning on Two Live Stews. Well, you got the Arle Wood report.
Now they had that funky 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some funky 4. I might get controversy. Last week they cut me off.
Not to be trying it, boy.
But that's what I'm saying. I push the buttons. I challenge you because I already know what I know what the temperature in the room is. Like I said, it's game mentality out here. You either red or you blue, you know. And a person like me who's neutral, I just better stay out the hood.
Yeah, just stay out the don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Right.
We appreciate you all know-it-alls.
Next week, same spot, same location, same time, 7 o'clock, right here, Stews Media Entertainment for the No Show with Arle and Notty. Again, we appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next time.
Yeah. See y'all next Wednesday. Have a great week.